So there's this concept of letting go of your work, where you're starting is obvious, but when you're finishing is not so obvious. We work on it, we make it, we manufacture it, but when do we let go of it? I don't know about you, but for me, there's infinitely more that you can do to a piece of jewelry. There are small aspects that you want to apply yourself to. My name is Jaco, behind the camera is the Maya, and as always, welcome to my workshop. Let's talk. If you're making something by hand, you're making something essentially as a human being, striving towards perfection, but it's just a term that can be refined and refined and refined. So I suppose you're working for the best of what you can achieve. I suppose that could be your goal. With the experience that I have, perfection is a myth. Even when I've made things that I've been incredibly proud of, and I look at it and I know myself that there's always something that can be improved on. Although it's perfect to the customer, it's not perfect to the creator. Not in an item, but in your work. You strive towards getting more symmetrical at what you're doing. You're doing a good thing. We want to try and improve as we're going along, and improve what we've previously done by learning new skills and new techniques. And as you're going along doing this, as in any career and as in every job, you'll start picking up on the finer things that you previously didn't notice. You stepped into some sort of a contract, basically. Doesn't matter how deep you're in this whole process of making jewelry, your skill has got value to it. This is where it becomes important. Your period of time that you'll be spending on the bench has been set. It's been calculated and it's been agreed upon. You've perhaps thought, I'm going to give this particular item, let's call it 4 hours of my day, half a day. That's your guideline. And I'm so guilty of this. You become involved in it, and your involvement becomes personal because you're a creative person. There is an amount of emotional energy that's going into this item that you're making. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what gives it its meaning. And you might get a little bit too involved in it, running over 4 hours to 5 hours or 6 hours. So if you're working for X amount per hour, it's diminishing now. The type of people that we tend to want to do that because that's where the focus lies, right? You have this battle between reality and this creativity, this art form that you're living out. Maybe money is not the highest on your priority list, but you still want to wake up in the morning and be able to do something that you love. So it has a part to play. If you've gone over the hours, but something's not complete, you're undercalculated the time. That becomes a lesson. When is refining something refined enough? And it's difficult because you want to give always the best to the customer. You want to give the customer something that's really going to be spectacular. Repair work is a really, really good example of this. When a piece of jewelry comes in and it's been worked on many times, you are sitting with a whole bunch of mystery in front of you. Maybe the ring comes in for a sizing. You size it and that's the job, right? But then you notice, aha, there's some problem over here. And once you start tinkering with these other little problems, you might create more trouble for yourself. It might collapse in some way. All kinds of things could happen because you don't know what they've done. Do the sizing as well as you possibly can. Do the job that you were asked to do. And if you then notice something else, from that point onwards, rather contact the customer and say, I've also noticed that the claw, blah, 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 or I'm spotting a problem over here, or while I'm working with it, I've noticed there's a crack which might cause a stone to come out. These are additional things. We're trying to inform them so that they have the option to make this decision. But that's repair work. I think most of us need an external person in our lives to be grounded in reality, to let us know. A lot of people that are highly functional, sort of creative people, they're definitely not
Maybe there's some unicorn out there that is like that.
Let's call it rare. Is there an ending to this? Not for me. I have this problem, which is why we were discussing it. Kind of like a little session between Demai and myself, who's genetically connected to me and have exactly the same problem. These are my anchors. First of all, how am I doing on time? Very important, because that's directly connected to this contract that you went into. Second of all, does it have integrity? Third of all, is this a showpiece? Are you going to be putting it into a show to be critically analyzed? Or is it a repair that you just need to go from point A to point B with integrity and let it move? Sometimes it helps to put the piece down and do something else. Break that bond that you have with it. We can find ourselves trapped in visualizing as well. Put it down, do something completely different, take a walk, just take a break. Come back to the piece. It will present itself as something completely different, because you might find that in your mind you've built up all kinds of issues which really doesn't exist. You distort the negativity that you believe exists in the work that you do.
Which is such a beautiful thing, because we actually need that, because we can see the absence of something, and so therefore we strive to improve, because we can see the improvements and understand where the gap is between you as the creator and the thing you're trying to achieve. And just the acknowledgement of that gap, maybe your skill isn't even there, but the fact that you can witness it is something that is a positive thing. It can be a positive thing that helps you, or it can be a negative thing that keeps you trapped, looking intensely, fixating on a piece of jewelry that ends up driving you mad.
And that's why I'm keeping that part of the video in, so that you can realize what kind of input is being bounced between Demai and myself. Until next time, cheers, bye.
Bye.